To support the show, visit us at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, and access to our growing collection of premium podcasts, where we cover other JRPGs like Terranigma, Parasite Eve, and Star Ocean.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, nice fighting game party the other day.
Thank you.
You did a great job of curating the list to send us back to a very specific point in time, so I just wanted to commend you on your curation of video games the other day. Tekken 4, Super Smash Bros. Melee, some Bushido Blade POV mode, anything else?
Fight for Life for Atari Jaguar.
Oh, is that bad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that was great. Would you like to hear some hot dogs that I have recorded?
Mouth clicks.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs, chapter by chapter, beat by beat. Welcome to Season 3, Disc 2, Final Fantasy VIII. My name is Chris. I am joined by Eric. Hey, what's up, Eric?
Hey, Chris. Some lights, ceiling, some children up there, wife, bed, TV. What else you got upstairs in your house?
Are you hearing them right now?
No, you said what's up, so I'm giving you the literal answer.
You're doing that. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, they're all up there, hopefully still, I guess. We are also joined by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. You too can join the RealNet at patreon.com/retroam. And, of course, thanks if you've already done that.
We're also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production AI companion and member of Anthony Kiedis' gang in Point Break, who sells meth and surfs.
Initializing Fake Net.
Johnny Utah is a cop.
Surfing's good.
I guess. I don't know. It looks hard.
So, Eric, episode 23, Norg is dead. We've killed Norg.
Norg has retreated.
Yeah, I think you're right. Norg has retreated into his next stage of life.
His next life, yeah.
Yes.
Do we take bets on whether or not we see Norg again?
I vote no.
Do you think Norg is mentioned again?
Yes, I know Norg is mentioned again.
All right.
So, yes, answer yes. Also, not only did we, I guess we didn't kill him, but we ruined him, but we also stole some of his pride in the form of his GF, Leviathan. Mm-hmm. And last time we did not discuss Leviathan, but I have some Leviathan facts to warm up this podcast. Are you ready for Leviathan facts? Okay.
Show me out.
Yeah, let me lev you up. Per the fandom wiki, Leviathan is a violent sea creature referred to in the Hebrew Bible as well as the Talmud and some other ancient Jewish texts. During the Age of Seafaring, the term Leviathan became synonymous with any large sea creature, sometimes describing whales. Biblical scholars interpreted Leviathan to be either a demonic sea creature and an enemy of God. So yes, Leviathan will kill God, by the way. Leviathan is also one of the 7 princes of hell associated with the deadly sin, envy, and hell's gatekeeper in Christian demonology. Demonology is cool. In Final Fantasy specifically, I was going to list out all of the Final Fantasy games that Leviathan appears in, but the answer is basically all. Ever since there have been summons and there has been a Leviathan for the most part. I think his was actually a proper boss and character in several Final Fantasies, I think including 4 and a few others.
FakeNet, is it Leviathan in 9? I can't imagine Leviathan summon in 9.
Initializing FakeNet.
If by summon you mean Eidolon, yes, Leviathan is in Final Fantasy IX. Its attack is Tsunami.
So that was very interesting facts, Chris, but you know what else is a fact about Leviathan?
I have more facts, but what facts do you have?
This is what it sounds like when you use it in this video game.
Oh yeah, tidal wave. Sounds good. So also, according to the Fandom Wiki, this incarnation in the series appears to derive from the legends of the Shinto god Ryujin, or Otowatsumi, said to be a dragon god that reigns over the seas. So I think that's like the visual motif that Leviathan is usually adopted for Leviathan. Also, something unique about this GF specifically is that it learns a support ability that has the Junctioner automatically use a recovery when they are hit by an enemy.
Define a recovery.
A recovery potion. So just if you want to use all your potions, just use that ability.
Have you used a potion yet in this video game? Is item attached to any of your characters in battle?
Yes, but I typically never use them.
Yeah.
Since now that I've got full lives, stuff like that. Its unique abilities make support magic and GF recovery medicine from items. So that's like its breakdown ability. And it has an ability that boosts the user's spirit upon level up. What's spirit, Eric?
Your zest for fighting? Your enthusiasm?
The stat in this game?
I have
I have no idea either.
Who cares? It's like one of the weird Dark Soul stats that actually has no effect on anything.
Yeah, maybe so.
Fignet, what's spirit do?
Initializing fake net.
I can see the future and Shy Guy 32 will tell you later in the real net. That being said, Spirit measures the ability to defend against magical attacks. Renoa has the highest base spirit, and Zell the lowest.
Also, Leviathan's counter force, the GF that doesn't like Leviathan, that the compatibility opposite is Quetzalcoatl. So, yes.
Electricity, water, makes sense.
Yes. So, that's all I have for Leviathan. Thanks, Norg.
Okay, speaking of Norg, I have some lingering questions here. Do you think there was a paper contract between Sid and Norg? And if so, did we just void it? Is Norg entitled to a 50% payout split now that the coalition has been dissolved?
I think it goes to Norg's estate. But I don't know who Norg's estate is.
Are Shumi permitted to own property?
That's a good question. We don't know enough about the Shumi people yet, so
tuck that one in for later.
Yeah, definitely. Or Norg might not be dead, so he may still actually still be the technical proprietor of this here garden. So I guess we'll find out.
Norg, not dead. So everyone resolves to go see the headmaster, but I resolve to go back to the computer and read up on Selfie's entries in her remastering of the diary page.
My diary.
She has a blog.
Yeah.
So you log into the desk computer. The Garden Festival Committee page is completely redesigned. It has a gift box aesthetic with green and yellow plaid wallpaper. Very Angel Fire GeoCities 1999-98 type shit. Mm-hmm. The title, Make the Garden Festival a Success, is the header at the top. And it has 3 links in a different, let's say feminine font. Also, the cursor is now a sunflower. First off, you can get Selfie's blog entries. And once again, we have these available and read aloud by a very special soul. This one is called My First Day.
Topic: Previous diary. My first day.
Booyaka! It's lingo I want to spread. Anyway, I've started my own diary. I can't believe I'm doing this. Selfie's Public Diary. That's a good title, right? But I never kept a diary before. I wonder how long it'll last. Well, I hope you find it interesting. Enjoy!
Second entry for my first day.
I'm from Trebia. It's a really nice place. If you ever get the chance, you should visit someday. I'm here because I want to be a seed. You can take the written test in Trebia, but the field exam is here. And plus, once you become a seed, you'll be stationed in Balamb. That's why I decided to transfer here. I do have a strong attachment for Trebia, but before I knew it, I was writing my application for a transfer. And what do you know? My field exam is today. But I'm gonna do my best. Wish me luck.
That was amazing.
So thank you. I'm sure she will enjoy hearing that. So are we to believe that I thought all gardens before I played this game were essentially serving the same purpose in different regions of the world, but all the field exams are at our garden? Are we the only ones that dispatch mercenaries throughout the country?
I think so. For a long period of time, I thought that the idea of the garden was to produce seeds, but the idea of the garden is not necessarily to do so, because I think we learned that Galbadia was mostly about developing tech, right? That was the military-industrial complex of Galbadia, right?
Yeah.
They don't have seeds. It sounds like Trebia is also a different type of output as well, so I guess something inspired Selfie to want to become a soldier herself.
It's funny that she can take the written test in Trebia, but Selfie, I've taken the written test in the Shumi Village, Fisherman's Horizon, in the middle of Delling City during assassination. Whenever I want to take it, I can take the written test.
It's in my menu.
Her next entry is called Passing the Seed Exam.
Topic: Previous diary. Passing the seed exam.
I passed the seed exam. Woohoo! Just wanted to let you know. The field exam took place in Dole. I was a member of Squad A, the intelligence team. I thought to myself, this will be easy, but then I was asked to deliver a message. Now that was a nightmare. Oh well, it's just part of my duties. Anyway, Squad B, which was supposed to secure the central square, was nowhere to be found. So I ran and ran. I had to deliver this message because I didn't want points deducted. Well, I ended up finding Squad B, but somewhere completely different, and the squad leader was going berserk. What was going through his head? But anyway, I remained calm and delivered the message. I think that's what got me the points. Anyway, I'm really excited to be a seed. Oh yeah, the squad leader actually congratulated us. Seems like a nice guy. He's famous at the academy, right? Maybe if he joins the Garden Festival Committee, he could do the recruiting. Well, good luck on the next field exam, Cypher.
I like how she specifically congratulates, not congratulates, but wishes Cypher good luck there.
Yeah,
like
before she knows.
It's before she's really fully on board with Cypher, but just being a complete asshole.
But her initial observation is like, he says when she got there, he was going berserk.
Yeah, which that was about, when she got there was about the time when he was screaming about loving battles and romantic dreams and everything. So
like, I'm just trying to imagine a time in my workspace when I can describe someone as going berserk. And then being like, oh yeah, I'm going to follow him.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It's something. So you can get all these before this, right?
I couldn't, like when I tried to access the computer, either the 2F room was locked or like, because I tried to, whenever we had the opportunity, I visited it, but these are listed under previous diary.
Yeah.
Suggesting they're not the latest diary.
According to the fandom wiki, you can get My First Day after returning from Fire Cavern.
Shit.
And you can get passing the seed exam after passing the seed exam before you roll out.
I overlooked it.
Yeah, I think I kept going back there. I did go back there a couple times, but I didn't think that I realized that Selfie stuff was buried in the Garden Festival component of this.
It's the only webpage she's allowed to take over.
Yes.
And now we have her latest diary entry, My First Mission.
Topic: My diary. Latest diary.
My first mission? Booyaka! No one's using it. I've been assigned my first mission. I'm not sure where to be sent. Even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you. But once the mission's done, we're free to talk all we want. So just wait, okay? I hope someone's reading this. Well, wish me luck. I'll be back soon.
So it's good there's some discretion there with her not on the public. Is this an intranet or internet type thing?
They can't even send radio signals across continents and whatnot. So I'm assuming that it's just an intranet.
Local network.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have her 3 worries that she's listed.
Worry number 1, side effects of GF. I've been studying up on GF because I know I'll be using it more now that I'm a seed. Am I going to lose my memories?
Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they told us this. There have been some subtle hints about the side effects of GFs, I think, throughout the game. I think maybe early in the tutorial stuff in this computer. And also, we were quite skeptical of the garden faculty back when we first were set up in our first mission, where those dudes were like, make sure you put your GFs on, guys. Don't forget to do that. Make sure. It's important.
If you're playing a JRPG and your protagonist doesn't start off with retrograde amnesia, they'll find ways to develop it.
Yes, that's true.
Worry number 2.
Worry 2. My other party members. I hope they're nice people.
Yeah.
Nice people? Yeah.
They're people.
They're nice people, but with some caveats.
Selfie is an eternal optimist who's obviously bearing something down pretty deep.
Yeah.
Worry number 3.
Worry number 3. The Garden Festival will be on hold. Come on, we're still looking for members.
The Garden Festival is Selfie's white whale, kind of.
Yeah, that's her primary motivation in this game. Yeah.
And we have 2 more. She has entries on the Garden Festival Committee.
Topic: Garden Festival Committee.
Hi, my name's Selfie Telmet. I just transferred here from Trebia Garden. I was on the Garden Festival Committee there, so I'm excited to join. But there's no one on the committee here, so I guess that makes me the chair. I plan to make full use of this page, so here we go. Who wants to be on the Garden Festival Committee? Come on, everyone, join. Let's all work together to make the Garden Festival a success. Personally, I want to have a concert. What do you all think?
So that's just, again, doubling down on how she wants to be the Garden Festival.
Mm-hmm.
She's super into it, and it's definitely someone talking to themselves here.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad. And then finally, she has an entry called My Friends.
Topic: My friends.
I've come up with a new bulletin board. I don't know what it'll be about. I was thinking something along the lines of friends, but I don't really have any friends at this garden yet, so this is a great chance for me to make friends. And then we'll work together to make the garden festival a reality.
So what that's going to be is she'll end up kind of soliciting blog entries from every member of our party that are posted here sporadically.
And at this point in time, she has not started her other project on here, right?
Well,
Laguna's page.
You can do that, but we're going to hold that off to kind of bridge these out a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
But for a brief overview, all the Timber Maniacs I think you read, they're kind of cataloged here, and she comments on some of them.
Okay, so now, ready to proceed? Go
Yes.
find Sid?
Yep.
We don't have any more exploring to do. There's nothing else. Nothing else changes in between killing Norg and...
No, you think there'd be some major change, like the garden faculty would stop? I don't know. Do you think garden faculty appear anymore?
I haven't seen any.
Yeah. Are there just no faculty members?
They just all left.
Like, I think at some point later on, we actually see another teacher somewhere, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Cool, but...
It appears to be random, but there's occasionally outside of the classroom, there's a guy outside of there. I mentioned this before. He's like, ask Squall, hey, can I see your gun blade? And if you pull it out, some random teacher will run out of the classroom and say, that's minus X amount of points from Squall.
Yeah.
I encountered that kid again a little bit later and asked Squall to show him some magic. And I just said no because I didn't want to get any...
Was it during a mission?
No, I think it was in one of these in-between moments.
You said, well, you should have been with us at the jail when we showed magic to everyone.
Yes, their faces.
So you have to go see Katawaki, right?
Yeah, we know that Sid is in the infirmary because we told him that he should go there as he was leaving before we murdered his proprietor. Mm-hmm. As we get in there, Sid is not visible at this point in time. The doctor actually tries to cover for him, I think.
Yeah, she's like, he's kind of... Then you hear a voice and it says, I'm okay now, doctor. Why was he here?
He announces that he is done crying.
Yeah.
He's having a mental episode.
Okay, so it's maybe just the fact that his once business partner and friend, he is experiencing some regret over sending his students to murder him?
Yeah, I think this... it's all
toll.
Yeah, like... I mean, Squall basically said, you look like shit, you need to go to the doctor. Yeah. And, Sid has looked like shit for a while. He's been under a lot of stress.
I mean, imagine if you were president of your company and then it just airlifted off the foundation and started sailing down the Ohio River, right? Like, you'd have some problems.
He's got a lot going on, but the most important thing that's going to happen here is that Squall is going to be able to do what he finds comfortable by making a report. But before we do that, we have to talk to Sid, and he tells us that he has a lot on his mind.
Yeah, he's back there sitting on the bed. Your first option is, I want to make a report. And he says, no, it's not necessary. I can guess what must have happened.
Yeah,
Squall's crushed by that?
Yes, absolutely. Because as we discussed in the last episode, like Squall was so hungry to get a report off, fire off a report, that he just gave one to Norg.
Yeah. He'll give it to anybody. He doesn't care who the report's for.
No bonds of trust.
Bonds of sea and trust.
Shit, bonds of sea. Thanks.
The real meaning of seed.
Yes, seed is seed. Thanks. The elite mercenary force of Balamb Garden. Do you know something about seed? ? Squall thinks in his own mind that he never knows anything, which is very true these days. Yeah. Sid says seed will defeat the sorceress. The garden will train seed members. The many missions around the world are only training for the final battle against the sorceress. But now that the sorceress has become a major threat, our true mission has begun.
I wonder if that's somewhere in the fine print when you sign up to go to Garden.
I don't think so, because I think it was all a facade, because very clearly, like, the idea of establishing a garden itself is to serve some sort of military purpose, and Gardens was to provide elite soldiers, and it's been doing that, but it's only been doing that in essence to generate money. And now he can just, go, like you said, send his students to kill his wife, which we're about to get somewhere.
Speaking of which, about Sorceress Edea.
Yeah, Squall notes that he's like, I heard the sorceress was your wife? And Sid replies, you're quite right. She had been a sorceress since childhood. I married her knowing that, which I think that kind of confirms the idea that we've been throwing around that, like, sorceress powers are typically innate. You're born with them. It's kind of, it actually almost feels like it borrows the idea from Xenogears of, like, there being a special woman that is occasionally born that has all of the power.
Hereditary power.
Yeah. We were happy. We worked together, the two of us. We were very happy. One day, Edea began talking about building the garden and training Seed. I became obsessed with the plan, but I was very concerned with Seed's goal, that one day Seed might find Edea She laughed and told me that would never happen.
Okay, so the premise of Seed is to train mercenaries to fight a sorceress. You are married to what is presumably the only sorceress, as it is a succession of witches.
Yes.
And you're building a machine to kill your wife?
I mean, unless there is a sorceress beyond the sorceress, like a ultimate version of the sorceress. At some point in their marriage, they were just normal people, and she was just a lady that had magic. But at some point, she's made this heel turn to
Well, she had been a sorceress since childhood. She wasn't a normal lady who knew magic, right?
Right. She had been a sorceress since childhood, but she hadn't snapped into the public sphere and suddenly become a diplomat that's going to try to take over the country and whatnot. Like, at some point in time, she snapped, and she's no longer on the same side as Sid, same thing.
Founded Seed and is asking Cypher to ask Squall what Seed is.
Yes, that's true. It's a lot.
Tell me about Master Norg.
He's from the Shumi tribe, which is actually the first time we learned that he's from the Shumi tribe.
Yeah.
You can kind of intuit that if you've seen the Shumi tribe card, if you've seen it in Triple Triad.
Yes, you can actually win that at this point.
Yeah.
That's your first time seeing the word Shumi in this game, I think.
Yeah. A black sheep of the tribe, one might say. We met while I was running around trying to find funds to build the garden. He became interested in building the garden, and we hit it off. Thanks to his funding, it was completed. However, we needed an enormous amount of funds to run the garden, so we began dispatching seeds around the world as a means of supporting the garden. Norg's idea was right on the money. An enormous amount of capital began flowing into the garden, and the garden began to change. Lost sight of our high ideals. The truth was covered up. That's probably enough. In the end, it was my fault for giving up control.
What truth?
Art reflects life, right, Eric?
I guess so.
Military-industrial complex takes over our passions and our desire to do good.
So that's the truth, is like they just become obsessed with money and creating money and cash flow as opposed to fighting a sorceress at some point down the line?
Yeah, saying that the truth was covered up is an interesting thought, because that means that he was planning on being forthright about this place. The existence of this place is to kill the sorceress. And apparently that never happened.
What do we do next?
We must stop drifting around soon. I can only hope that we can get things back to the way they were.
It's optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. After that, then the story will progress. Once you wander back into the lobby, Zhu will call out for Squall. She says that she's looking for the headmaster, and she tells us to go to the second floor deck. There's a ship approaching. Our ship. We're a ship.
It could be Galbadians or worse. The sorceress might be aboard, coming to attack us. I have to tell the headmaster right away. Low chance of this actually happening, but okay. So we go to that balcony, and there's idle water noise.
Yeah.
Since we're in the open ocean, I guess.
Yeah, and the boat's already docked there.
Yeah, we're treated to a new side profile view of our balcony, showcasing the open ocean off to its left side. Squall steps out and apparently sees a ship, the Galbadian ship, off in the distance. The gang rushes forward, and the point of view changes to the deck of the ship. 3 dipshits in white jumpsuits with headbands rush to the deck. One asks if Headmaster Sid is available. Chris, the headbands. Where else have we seen headbands? Was it on the Galbadia workout crew?
The Galbadia workout crew?
Yeah, at the Galbadia Garden, the people that were doing push-ups and shit.
Oh, I thought these guys looked like the guys that were with the mysterious girl in the training center.
They were, but didn't we think those were Esther agents?
Yeah, we did, but we didn't really know for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if headband is, you know how style and fashion changes across geography and distance.
Yeah.
Like if headbands were inherited from one different faction, and then because these uniforms I would still label as enigmatic and not dangerous.
Yeah.
So Squall is like, no man, Sid ain't here. Also, are you from Galbadia?
Yeah.
They reply with, we are Seeds. This is Edea's ship. So those two sentences, we are Seeds. This is Edea's ship, would seem to cancel out.
Yeah, because seeds exist for the sole purpose of destroying the sorceress, but apparently she has developed her own her own force.
Worse. We are sorceress Edea's seed. We're coming aboard. We're unarmed.
Yeah.
So we're the bad guys. We're coming over. We don't have weapons.
Yeah.
What?
They just let it happen too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we were gonna have to do a interim fight, like fight these guys for a minute, and then suddenly we gain their trust somehow, but it doesn't happen.
It's like, are they seeds? Does Edea not know what seeds are? Are they lying? What's going on?
Yeah.
Then these fuckers Ninja Turtle jump flip.
Squall does maintain this level of like mistrust about them, because he does in the scene draw his gunblade.
Yeah.
But they announce they come in peace, and then they ask for Sid again. And
Our squad buys these vicious lies.
Yeah, they do. But then Sid appears behind us, and he seems to know what's going on.
She was with him.
Yes. The other seed guy tells the headmaster that they're here for Ellone.
It's too dangerous for her now. Sid agrees with them. Squall thinks to himself, Ellone, the girl from Windhill?
Yes.
Shit, Chris.
Shit, dude.
Shit, boys.
All of it's coming together. Like, we've had very few tangible connections between the Squall story and the Laguna story outside of a few handful of things. But now it's starting to happen. And knowing what we know about the succession of witches, Ellone must be a pretty important asset in the power struggle here. Because, like, we don't necessarily know for a fact that Ellone is a sorceress, but we did sort of guess or wonder that during the Laguna sequence when we were talking to the Galbadian soldiers, and they were talking about protecting her and whatnot.
But at least in the Laguna sequence, I was led to believe there were many candidates around the world, and she was just one of them, not necessarily a high priority.
Yeah.
For being kidnapped by Esther, which Esther was then in league with the sorceress, right?
Yes.
And we still don't necessarily know how that conflict ended, only that it ended.
Right, exactly. And so she must be pretty important here.
What is she doing in the garden ever, period? Like, going to the library and reading books sometimes.
Yeah, and occasionally getting lost in Jurassic Park. It's just not great. Sid turns and asks Squall if he knows where she is. He asks us to go find her. He does not identify her or to tell us what she looks like or say what the fuck is going on. He just says, go find her.
Yeah, Squall, sir, yes, sir, is that shit.
Yes.
The seeds will say silent if you try to talk to him, and then Sid again asks Squall to bring her here. She says she'll help too.
Yep. So we go in the hallway, and Zell suddenly he's put it together. Kistis also notes that she's the little girl that Laguna was looking after. Ellone is. Squall says,
despite Squall never talking about any of that.
Yeah, Squall says probably, and I'm pretty sure he's already done talking about this because you know Squall's mentality. Like, there's no point in talking about this right now because we have to do the job that's in front of us.
So I went to the library to look for him.
Yes, that's because that's where she is. And I guess you missed her on your playthrough, right? You only saw her in the Renoa content that you watched, right? So I already knew where she was because, well, I didn't know that was necessarily her until this moment. That's when it all started coming back together for me. So yeah, we go straight to the library where we were earlier. And Squall's alone, by the way. Everybody splits up to go look for her. So we get there.
The girl with the pigtails is talking to another guy called Conceited Seed. Mm-hmm. And she's saying how much she loves book recommendations. Her friend then bursts in and says Pigtail Girl wants a certain someone to read one of the books she likes. She pretends not to know who she's talking about. Then her friend giggles and says, don't worry, we're with you all the way.
Is that part of the
Zell side quest? She's trying to make Zell read a book.
Yeah. Cool.
That's that.
So then we go in the back room, right?
Mystery Woman is back in the place at the desk. Drifting plays.
Yes, new music. I think this is the first time we've heard this song. Squall asks if she is alone. Are you alone?
I get it.
Are you alone?
Are you alone?
She confirms, and Squall says, you're alone? The Ellone?
Squall wonders what's going on, then asks her if she knows Laguna, and she says, I do. I really love Uncle Laguna.
Yes, me too, by the way. Squall drops into his like pleading baseball stance, kind of outfield stance.
Open arms,
yeah.
Right. Waiting for a line drive.
Yeah. He says, and tell me, what is it that we experience? Ellone says that she's sorry. It's hard to explain. She goes on, but one thing, it's about the past.
That kind of hard confirms what we had suspected, that it was about the past and not like a vision of an alternate life or a parallel universe.
Exactly.
Ellone gets up and walks away, and she says, people say you can't change the past, but even still, if there's a possibility, it's worth a try, right?
Squall can't believe this shit.
Yep. He says, give me a break. And I do wonder if she means in a metaphorical thing by if he is able to learn from the past, he can change the future that way if he hadn't learned from the past. Mm-hmm. That's a very certain point of view.
Yeah.
Take on that.
Yeah.
Squall asks if she's the one responsible for taking them to the dream world. Ellone again apologizes. Squall thinks, not again, and that there is so much he doesn't understand. Why me, he screams at her. I have enough problems as it is. Don't get me involved in this.
In this shit.
Imagine...
It sounds like I really expected him to say this shit.
Can't do
right there.
Imagine asking a stranger in the library if they're responsible for taking you to the dream world.
Yeah, Squall's been through a lot, but now he's going through even more. Yeah, he's having one today.
Ellone apologizes for the third time. Squall says not to count on him, and he walks over and sits at the desk. Footsteps are heard, then Shu appears. She asks Squall if he found Ellone. Ellone waves to Shu, and then Shu asks Squall if he's all right. Ellone walks over and whispers something to Squall. The screen darkens by 20%, and Squall thinks, what Ellone said under her breath was, you're my only hope.
Squall has been identified as someone's only hope.
For what?
He was also Selfie's only hope at completing the Garden Festival.
Yeah.
And now he's been trusted with the succession of witches.
Oh no.
I really like I really like this scene because especially Squall's reaction. It's perfectly written in the in context with Squall's character, because we all know that Squall doesn't want other people to put their problems on him, and he maintains that same defense level when he's presented with like all this succession of witches. Look at the past shit where he's just like, I can't deal with this right now. And
Ultra Magnus.
Yes, exactly. He's doing that stuff.
Yeah, every time someone tries to tell Squall he's the special boy of destiny, he pushes back on it. And I'm wondering what's going to be the thing that makes him realize that he is indeed the special boy of destiny. Does he have to go to outer space, Chris?
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's when Sid and Seven realized he was a man of destiny, right? When he finally went to space. Rocket Town earned its name.
That's how you know that you're a new type in Gundam, Eric.
No, I believe that's when you know it's your Final Fantasy, Chris.
Okay.
Back on the White Seed ship, Ellone talks to Sid, Shu, and 3 White Seeds. Squall wonders why people depend on others. He's made it this far by himself. He didn't build that road. The camera cuts to Ellone on a ship waving by to Sid. CG cutscene. The ship hauls off with in-game character models still on the deck. 3 massive magical sails unfurl from its tail end, casting it off to sea as the camera centers on it gliding into his setting sun. Then Squall continues, wondering why he has to rely on others, but conceding he'll be the first one to admit that he is here because of other people.
Yeah, which is a weird admission. I guess it's not weird for him to admit that in his own head, but it would
Baby steps.
Yeah, you're right. He wakes up in his bed.
Face up.
He's by himself now. I'm by myself now. He thinks, I have all the skills I need to survive. I'm not a child anymore. That's a lie. I don't know anything. I'm confused. I don't want to depend on anyone. How can I do that? Someone tell me. So I'll end up depending on others after all.
Teenager thoughts.
Yes, teenager thoughts of anime characters. Shinji Ikari is going through the fucking last episode.
Alienation and detachment common in 17-year-olds.
Yes, exactly.
It's okay. It's fine. I don't know if it's necessarily good, but it's relatable.
Yeah, it's part of it. Flashback.
Mystery location.
Yes, Rain, a boy in a yellow shirt.
Not rain.
Not rain with an E, rain the
weather.
element. Yes, it is raining on a boy with a yellow shirt. He's calling out for Sis. He says, I'm all alone, but I'm doing my best. I'll be okay without you, Sis. I'll be able to take care of myself. Assuming it's Squall, thinking about his past.
Definitely Baby Squall wearing a Charlie Brown shirt.
Yes. So I guess because the implication here that like he's been abandoned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Squall has.
Yeah, and
issues.
Ellone previously has said, it would be a shame if you don't remember me, or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why don't you remember me?
Yeah.
These kids have memory problems.
Yeah.
Is he traumatized out of his memory?
It could be either way. It could be because of the GFs or because of the, like all this trauma that he's built a wall around.
Then we're back in the dorm.
Birds chirping.
Very nice. Must be morning. So apparently multiple things can happen here, but for me, Zell walked in.
Same here.
I think Kissis can also walk in and ask you to get some tea. Zell walks in and Squall gets up out of bed and is like, what, dude? And Zell says, we're a team and we haven't really talked lately. The dialogue gets awkward and Zell asks Squall if he wants to go kick some monster butt in the training center. I tell him sounds good. And Zell says this kind of lifestyle gets you so out of shape. Gets you thinking too much. All that stuff. That's what Squall's been doing. Zell's been doing it too.
Is this the first time that Squall has ever been in a situation where it's just like, hey, guy, you want to go be some guys being dudes?
Yeah, you want to
me?
go play Tekken 4 in my basement?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
A nice attempt by Zell and to get Squall to open up a little bit.
Zell runs off and Squall suspects Zell was trying to cheer him up. I have no intention of meeting Zell there.
Yeah.
Squall out loud says he's sorry to Zell after Zell leaves. And so apparently, like, you can't actually, you're interrupted before you try to go to the training center, right? Like,
right.
You can't actually do this?
Right. So there's a couple of different waking up scenes.
Is it random? I mean, how is this organized?
I guess it has something to do with
like some background points?
Yeah. That must have something to do with, maybe it could be your party order. I don't know.
Ever since the Renoa dialogue divergence, I've been curious about this game's behind-the-scenes mechanics.
Yeah.
With stuff like this.
Yeah. I looked up the Kistis one because I thought that might be interesting. And the other ones, I think Renoa and Irvine are pretty, like...
Does Renoa say you meant to try that tour again, dipshit?
Yeah, it is something like that, yeah. She does reference the tour, which made me get confused and have to go back and look up when that tour took place. But yeah. But I love Kistis' line here. So if she comes, she says, hey, do you remember going to the secret place together the night you became a seed?
Uh-oh.
You gave me the cold shoulder, but maybe now you understand how I felt. Sometimes people need someone to talk to.
She wanted more than somebody to talk to, man.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little...
I think she's rewriting the...
It's a little gaslighty.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't actually try to make out with you. We were just friends.
You should understand me now because you're going through the same thing that I am because I am placing my issues onto you and trying to solve them through you, Squall.
She's learned nothing. Kistis refuses to grow as a character.
Question. Which of the following characters will grow throughout this game?
Squall and Renault.
Okay, that's it?
Yep.
I was going to give a little bit Selfie and a little bit of Irvine.
I mean,
based on what we see.
You're going to get something, but you're going to get a single dimension growth toward one area and a problem they've already established. Irvine currently has confidence issues. Selfie wants to put on a show.
Yeah.
Zell is anger problem. Zell's only dimension is obtaining a hot dog.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? That's all he's got going for him. That is his constant goal in every sequence we see him in the cafeteria. His mission, his objective is to obtain a hot dog.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I think that all those are more dimensional than what we're getting from Kistis. I don't think she's ever going to come to grips with the position that she put Squall in.
No, I forget the exact point, but I remember referencing her character development terminating at some point at the end of Disc 1.
Yeah, I think you're right. We'll see.
Like her lack of confidence as a teacher, her failings, why she was dismissed from being faculty, what she intends to do as a seed, why she listens to Squall. These are things that I want answers to because I think she's, from a design standpoint, an interesting character and started off really strong as someone who had Squall's number and knew what he was going to do.
Yeah.
But it turns out Sid now has that role too.
Yeah.
So it diminishes her as a unique character.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Good points, Eric. Okay, you ready to proceed?
Yeah, was there nothing else interesting that Irvine or
No, it's just hello, come
Do you want
on.
to go shoot my gun?
Yeah.
Balamb Garden, we run out to the main hall and the intercom buzzes. It's Sid. He says the shit is fixed and he's back on the air. Sid screams and then it cuts to him in his office, shuffling around and screaming. Damn it. Then we get a total setting change. There's noise, there's wind. We're at a place called Fisherman's Horizon. It cuts to a fisherman staring out into the horizon. Imagine that.
He's sitting on the edge of a crane or something.
Yeah, like some construction material. Yeah. A fisherman... I blew up my own pun. Anyway, he's fishing off the edge of a steel girder, noting that it's been a slow day.
Did you note all the windmills in the background?
Yes.
You know,
Wind
windmills,
power.
they kill too many birds.
Of course, yeah. You can have them
bad.
off the edge of Massachusetts.
Yeah, we got to get rid of all
much.
we got to get rid of all the windmills.
Right. Not in my backyard.
Yeah.
CG cutscene. The garden barrels in and completely levels one of the stone windmills. Fish are actually visible flying up out of the water. The fisherman notices this, stands up in shock and disbelief as the garden continues to plow through the windmills. The fisherman, ironically, then gets a big bite on his pole. Oh, he's got the fish, Chris.
Oh.
He actually stops to try and reel the thing in, but at the last moment decides to run away as the wayward garden gets too close. The garden creates a massive splash, but before it cuts, doesn't actually appear to make contact with what his position was.
I like to think that, based on what we learned about this fisherman later, that this is the only fish that's ever gotten away from him.
It's possible. Yeah. Squall just fucked up his perfect. Yeah. Sid then summons Squall specifically from the intercom.
Yep.
Then we're in Sid's office. We take the elevator up. Sid is on the intercom begging people to remain calm and to not leave the garden under any circumstances. Sid's like, shit, dude. Thanks for coming. Squall, here's your orders. We've landed on Fisherman's Horizon. Please go ashore with Kistis and Zell, find the local mayor, and apologize for this accident. Tell them that we come in peace. Take a look around the city while you're there, too. So, the sentiment, Chris, fuck, tell them we come in peace is not a good look.
No, we just crashed into their shit. Yeah.
We just crashed our mercenary school into their hippie village.
Yes. Also, Squall's got to be really upset with the idea that his orders are just to go say sorry to somebody.
Yeah.
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 He can't be good with that.
Chris, Sid, who can read Squall's mind, asks if Squall has something to tell him. Sid then tells Squall that Sid is not a special force for combat. He wants Squall to go see the world, to broaden his horizons, his fisherman's horizons.
Yes, of course.
He tells Squall that he has high expectations for him. And this is clearly some kind of panic diffusal type thing to make him not think about how fucked up the shit was that just happened. Mm-hmm. It's the shit where they tell you the army is a way to see the world and leave out the part about killing civilians.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Sid does a lot of, I guess, heavy lifting to justify what he's been doing for most of his life.
Yeah.
I mean, of course he had honorable intentions, but the fact that he has to send these children out to do mercenary tasks in order to fund and use them as soldiers to gain experience by probably killing people is maybe not great.
Wonder if anyone was working on the problem. When the white seed ship docked with Garden was immobile, right? Or was it just drifting? It wasn't moving, it was just drifting,
Yeah.
and it was keeping pace with the drift.
I think so.
Okay, you would think someone somewhere would have a map and know the direction we're drifting in and would have tried to engage some kind of system to prevent this from happening.
Yeah, we were too busy talking in the doctor's office.
Yeah, that's a good point. He was having a headache.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think anyone here is trained at seafaring. There's no men of the sea on this
What the
ship.
fuck are you talking about? We take little sea ships across the sea all the time.
Well, I mean, we take. Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, we're only good at combat. We don't know navigation. We only go straight.
That is literally the field exam. Like, Dole has to be freed from forces twice a month.
Yeah.
If you speak to Sid, he'll tell Squall their fate is in his hands, and then pulls the punch and says, look, buddy, just don't offend anybody in Fisherman's Horizon.
Yeah.
Zell and Kistis meet Squall at 3F. I exit through the balcony to Fisherman's Horizon, and then it's just wind here.
Mm-hmm.
3 people have come ashore to warn us. Do not engage in any type of armed conflict in this city. We do not tolerate belligerence here.
Those are two different things, but,
I mean, it's 2 separate rules. Like,
Yes, okay.
No conflict, don't be a fucking asshole.
yeah.
Squall gives them the whole we come in peace line. One of the enforcers looks like a hard ass from Galbadia Garden. They welcome us to Fisherman's Horizon, which they call FH. They tell us we should go visit the mayor, whose house is in the middle of the city. New music, Fisherman's Horizon plays.
Good track.
One of these guys says this is a hell of a mess. Squall says he was sorry and it was inevitable after they lost control of the garden. My guy, and I am now convinced that this is a hippie commune, says not to worry about it, nobody got hurt, and they love fixing stuff anyway.
Yeah, they fear nothing. They love fixing stuff. They fear nothing.
Kick back and enjoy your stay, man. So then we cross the big crane arm. What is this? Is this just like reclaimed metal they've made a
Yeah, I think
barrier
so.
out of?
Yeah, it's like we end up walking like around a giant like water tank or silo or something.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of rusty things that are bolted together.
Run down like it's been out in the ocean for 40 years.
Yeah.
CG cut scene. The full moon afternoon sky pans down to reveal a train terminal hangar flanked by a shitload of windmills. Beneath all of that is a massive solar array or satellite dish. It's a huge bowl surrounded by water, complete with small hubs like that first town from Waterworld.
Mm-hmm.
An ethereal whoosh is audible as the camera returns to our party and freeze frames the overlook from the entrance to the tower. So we're presented with a staircase, complete with the old guy whose day we ruined earlier. It presents a large view of the... What's your first impression of this thing? Solar array, satellite dish, giant set of mirrors,
Yeah, I wrote
water tank?
solar panel.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
My guy says he heard Balamb Garden got out of control and tells us we should have kept up with our maintenance. Probably true. So you should probably have realized what all these boosters in the basement were. We can now start the Master Fisherman quest?
Yeah, I missed the first part of this.
Oh, really?
You can still complete
Could
it, but
do
you
the
don't
second
get
part?
the first reward.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I now started the Master Fisherman quest. The next screen presents a huge, rusted-out water tank that it looks like the place in South Carolina where they filmed The Abyss and then let rot for 2 decades.
Oh.
Look at pictures of that. I think it's been taken down recently. I follow the path around and find 2 more ladders, and I take those back out to another arm that extends out into the ocean. The bucket hat Miguel-looking fisherman guy from earlier found a new spot, apparently. He says that all his fishing spots are gone, and we can apologize or ask what the hell he's talking about. I pick the former, and he's like, don't worry, then thinks that it damn near killed him. He says he's so good he can fish anywhere in the world, and he's not a master for nothing. He thanks us and gives us Occult Fan 3. He then sits back down and gets back to his fishies. Chris, I read Occult Fan 3.
Yeah.
It presents a picture of a ring. The text says it's supposed to be a legendary ring that summons a guardian force.
Ooh.
It once belonged to a royal family. Its name and whereabouts are unknown, and the legend says you must have 666 items to summon the guardian force.
Ooh.
666, the hell number.
Yes. Cool. So this is a hint on how to get some sort of optional guardian force.
We've gotten other occult fans, but we haven't read them. We'll get on that next episode.
Okay.
Talking to him again, he asks for a favor. Go and check on his pupil at the docks, who he hasn't spoken to in a while. Talk to that lonely twerp, will you?
Mm-hmm.
And like Chris says, this is the only time you can do this quest. You can't do this part of it later.
Yeah.
So then I leave. We'll pick that back up in a minute. And we sync back up. Did you talk to Familiar Face by the elevator?
Yes, this familiar face. The first familiar face is the one that has the hat and the medium shirt on that looked like the gym teacher from Galbadia Garden.
Yeah, the escaped Galbadia Garden guy who just kept his uniform.
I think he's smoking too. I think he's got a cigarette.
That would make sense. Not a tobacco cigarette, Chris.
I don't know. Smoking is cool, right?
Smoking is very cool.
Yeah. I wish it was healthy. And he's the one that's going to give us a lift, right?
Yeah, but he asks a fun question, which is, are you going to Esther?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Squall acts like he's never heard of it.
I don't know if he hasn't heard of it. It's just an absurd question when we're crashing to a hippie commune in the middle of the ocean. Like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, the familiar face tells us that it is a high-tech city just beyond the train tracks. He says that a lot of people who stop here go there.
Okay.
Gotta walk, though. The trains are down.
How many people stop here? Because we'll learn later the trains are down, and that's a long walk across an entire body of water.
Yeah, so I guess he does have a reason to ask us, because a lot of people who come here go there, but we have a unique situation. We crashed a fucking giant building into this place, so.
He also says, so you had an accident and came here, huh? Mm-hmm. Which is a very big gulps, huh? Kind of line, like, what are you doing? All right, that's you. That's me.
Yeah.
Whenever someone here tells me about Esther, I assume they know I'm not a local and are fucking with me, like when residents lie to tourists. Like, oh yeah, you guys looking for Esther? Right down those tracks, buddy. Good luck. We're on yet another series of platform pipes, and Squall apologizes to the first person he sees. This guy operates the lift with his brother, and much like his brother, he won't shut the fuck up.
He's familiar face too, right?
Yeah.
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 The third guy on the rails asks if we're seeds and tells us he heard that we're mercenaries who fight anybody for money, ding noise. He asks if we're happy with that kind of life. Squall wonders if this guy is trying to pick a fight. Then this guy says, never mind, the way you live your life is none of my business. Just don't cause us any problems. Squall, in a rare moment of self-awareness, thinks, he sounds just like me. I guess it doesn't sound very nice. So Squall is following directions here. He's telling everybody he can find that we come in peace, and he apologizes.
Yeah, it's true. Squall has maybe more self-awareness than most of the other party in terms of what he does for a living.
Also, we don't hear anybody else's thoughts.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
But that's true.
Zell's probably wondering if they have hot dogs here, not realizing it's a vegan community.
Yeah. So at this point in time, I decided to start a new, I don't know what you want to call this, a new podcast? No, a new philosophy towards the game Triple Triad. Okay, so
shuffling or boogieing.
Yes. Yeah. So I've decided from Fisherman's Horizon onward throughout the rest of the game, every time I play Triple Triad, I'm playing for keeps.
Oh no. You're not going to save scumming?
Not save scumming Triple Triad. So we're going to see how far we get before I give up and start breaking down on my cards and getting the items. Before I cash out.
Cash out your cards. Chris is going to lose all of his face cards to the drunk over in Fisherman's Horizon.
Yeah, so a lot happens throughout my quest here in this next...
you really can just say fuck it and cash out, can't you? You can get some good items from those things.
Yeah, so the rules here in FH for me are absolutely fucked. It's got plus...
Oh God, no.
Sudden death and elemental.
Yeah, I've got elemental rolling in F. Like, I looked at the formula to abolish those here, but I decided it was too much. And you can really... Oh, there are some cards worth getting here later. We'll get to it.
Yeah, and so I played him with these fucked rules, and I took an oil boil card from him to commemorate our recent
battle
fight
with the oil boil.
With the oil boil, yeah.
I think at this point I have every single card that isn't a Guardian Force or Face or... there is one like level 6 or 7 monster card that we're not allowed to get yet because it's a very secret hidden thing in this video game.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you can read about it in a Cult Fan.
Cool. So we we keep progressing through this, what do you call, oil rig looking ass town, which for a moment I was like, is this actually a town? Like, why does it have a mayor? Like, because I hadn't found the citizens yet.
Well, once you make it to that opening screen that is just mostly the satellite dish and then some train tracks that go around it, it's a giant house in the middle of a dish. You're like, that's the destination, so we have to go everywhere but the destination.
My philosophy as well. So I went to the right at this little fork here.
You dead ends and some train tracks, but a side path goes off to the right.
Yeah, there's a save point, a region draw point, and a train cab thing that's breaking our way. I wanted to go in the train car and like get some more bullets and stuff.
Yeah, some supplies. Parasite you. I'm having a problem where Squall, for some reason, isn't allowed to draw anything. Even for spells he doesn't have 100 of.
Yeah,
Do you have this?
Yes.
What the fuck is happening? I thought that, like, I'd fuck something up or I was like doomed or like brain poisoned or something.
I don't know.
It's inconsistent though, because sometimes he can. Like, I found an ultimate draw point where I'm currently playing this game, and Squall couldn't draw from it, and that motherfucker definitely doesn't have 100 ultimas. But Kissis and Zell, I've like tried switching Guardian Forces. I've tried all kinds of stuff, and I can't figure out what the issue is. And now I'm even more weirded out because it's happening to you too.
Yeah.
Have we forgotten how to draw, Chris?
We're losing our memories.
I feel like we are one game, like Googling this and finding GameFAQs post that says Squall can't draw 8 question marks, and then someone just instantly answers it.
Yeah.
God. Fuck it. FakeNet, why can't we draw anything?
Initializing FakeNet.
Each character has a magic spell inventory that can store 32 different spells, each as high as 100 units. If you have more than 32, the draw option is removed. Way to go spending hours filling your coffers with 100 basic fire and blizzard spells, dummy.
So that leads to a row of brown and dusty docks and shops. Like Chris said earlier, everything here looks kind of like shit. Like it's been out in the elements for a very long time. A drunkard here tells us that he's not drunk. He's done making his own booze. What?
Yeah, like I'm not making my own booze anymore because it's getting me too fucked up.
Yeah, I mean,
like he's a moonshiner.
Blind. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he's definitely a moonshiner from the fucking hills.
But he doesn't resolve to quit his drinking. He's just going to start taking what people give him. Not what he buys, what people give him.
Yes.
A boatman on the dock asks about Norg at Balamb Garden, which is a thing this guy working a dock in Fisherman's Horizon and wearing fish cutting apron definitely knows about.
Why does he know these secrets? Like, is boatman? Is this Wembley Donner?
I mean, well, we
like,
will.
Who are you?
Who the fuck is Wembley Donner?
Wembley Donner was a random character that was mentioned in the the previous Garden Festival committee chair.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
These people are more than they seem, which we'll learn a little bit later. So there could be a reason for that, but. He asks a curious question, which is, did Norg evolve already?
Yeah, is Norg a Pokemon? What is going on here?
Squall asks this fool what he's talking about, and he says Norg is a Shumi, so he should evolve. This guy can't believe this shit, and then he tells Squall he doesn't know diddly squat. Yeah.
Yeah, he tells Squall not to worry about this. We'll get it soon enough, which makes me think Norg is going to come back Norg's the final boss or something. He's evolving.
Norg has evolved into Leviathan 2.
If you speak with him again, the boatman, he will wonder aloud what Norg will evolve into. So apparently, like, there's branching evolution paths for the Shumi tribe, which again makes me wonder if they're a weird Pokemon. This was a deep-kept secret for everyone who lived at Garden for, I don't know, 10, 12 years, however long this place has been around, and fucking...
Remember when I told you I was suspicious that people could read my mind in this game?
Yeah.
This guy just read Squall's mind.
Oh, okay.
This is what's happening.
I'll accept that.
That or like everything that we think, it would be like, I wonder if you could do like a reading of Final Fantasy VIII where Squall thinks he's saying stuff inside of his mind, he literally never is.
Oh.
Maybe that's what's happening, is he has no internal monologue like Austin Powers. A lady walking in a short dress says we did not scare her. We just surprised her. She continues walking and refuses to acknowledge all further conversation options.
Yes. She won't play cards either.
So then you can walk to the right and go to a dock. At the end of the first dock, the screen switches to the terminus of the dock with waves and seagull noises. And if you listen carefully, there's a boat hitting a wooden dock over and over. There's a smaller dock off to the north with two small fishing boats nearby. There's a bait shop or something at the end. The floating letter sign says, I think, Fisherman's. An old man is standing here, and the moon takes up almost the entire sky.
The moon is big.
The old guy is a weapon upgrade shop, presumably for all the fishermen here in Fisherman's Horizon, this peace-loving society. Can you modify my gun blade? Yes, you can.
Yes, sure. Why not?
The kid at the end is Fisher Kid. He's part of the Master Fisherman side quest. He asks if I like fishing, and I tell him, sort of.
Yeah, I've played Nier recently.
And he says, check this out. Then winds up and does a Happy Gilmore equivalent fishing line cast.
Is that action where you wind up your fishing pole, and is that called casting your reel?
Casting your line?
Casting your line?
I believe.
Okay.
Chris revealed that he hasn't been fishing before ever, right? Didn't that happen?
Right.
Jesus.
I still haven't been fishing, no. My children have now been fishing, and I haven't. They've outfished me.
How'd they deal with putting a worm on a hook? Did they fuck with that?
I don't know. I don't know if they
Still
did.
bothers me. I don't like fishing.
They caught a fish each.
What they do with it? They throw it back?
I think they threw it back.
Cool.
Yeah.
The shopkeeper asks, what the hell was that? And the music Waltz for the Moon plays as the shopkeeper notices his window is broken. And the last time it was the fucked up store sign. So the store sign used to be arranged perfectly, but Fisher Kid keeps casting an errant line.
Yeah.
He says this always happens when that kid shows off. The kid wonders why his line went backwards and speculates that maybe he did not have enough weight. Because you can put weight at the end of your line too to make it, like a bowling ball, different weights, different distances.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He then asks if I saw the old man fishing by the port. I tell him yeah, and that I was impressed when I saw him. Instead of saying he was an old geezer, that was another option. This kid is his #1 student, and he wants to be like him when he grows up. He knew he wasn't a loser like some people said, and that smart people can tell he's a great man. The kid resolves to work hard, then casts another line. It smashes into more shit.
Yeah.
The shopkeeper begs the kid to go out and see where he has more, to go out and do this where there's more room, and the kid responds by saying he can't swim.
This is where the music changes again, I think?
Yeah, I talked to him again, and he says his form is good, then throws another one out there as Don't Be Afraid plays. The shopkeeper starts screaming about how he can't breathe. The line is tangled, the kid can't do anything. The shopkeeper starts hovering and begs for help. Squall runs over and casts magic on the shopkeeper, and it plays the victory music. The kid thinks that was cool. The shopkeeper in yellow text says that's it and that he's had enough. You almost got me killed in red text as he follows that up with, you dumbass.
Yes.
The kid says he didn't do this on purpose. So you get all this? I thought it was tied to the first Fisherman quest. Because he asked you to go check on this kid.
He does, but you can still, he still asked you the same question if you met him, and I just said yes. Because I thought he was talking about the random guy that was standing at the top of the stairs. So I was just like, yeah, I saw him, whatever. And so you can still do this, which is good because you still get some decent rewards from this too, and some pretty good scenes.
You speak to the kid again, and he says, practice makes perfect. Then I went back to the tracks. I talked to that girl earlier, and she says her great looks are enough to keep her safe.
Oh, the one that's waltzing down the town?
Always in the middle.
Yeah, okay.
Then I go to the inn, which looks like Fallout Shelter from Fallout. The floor mat says... recycling?
Yeah, the sign outside, did you try to interpret that?
I didn't even notice that.
I wrote Jankman Alley.
Oh, no.
But
it's probably junk.
It's probably junk.
It's probably junk.
Jankman Alley is pretty good.
So anyway.
Jankman Alley is a Jake Busey character.
Yep.
Sure, did you turn on the TV in here?
I did. There's some chatter on the radios or something.
This changes depending on the events of the game. You can they have a telegram line. There's some static noise, and there's footage of like the garden crashing to the port. I walk upstairs. Kisses and Zell sit down on triple bunk beds.
Yes, the Jankman Hotel.
Of course, an old issue of Timber Maniacs is in the corner. This room has a craftsman's table off to the side, and it's definitely where somebody has been tinkering with junk.
Yes.
Next screen. The train tracks go up on the right, but off to the left is a small courtyard full of Siamese cats. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, this is Eric's spot.
Up those stairs is a closed or dilapidated train station. I think earlier in this series I wanted a Final Fantasy VIII showcase poverty in any of its cities, and I guess this is it. Everything here looks like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cafeteria Lady's son can apparently be here, Chris?
Yeah.
Did you see him?
I caught him later.
Okay.
After the events of this place.
This was something referenced in episode 1 or 2 or 3 or something like that, where the cafeteria is like, yeah, my son went off to Fisherman's, or like a seed washout or something.
So you haven't found him yet?
No.
Oh, yeah.
If I did, I forgot. I didn't write it down. The top of the tracks off to the right, there's a knick-knack shop, and there's a very curious knick-knack in here.
Yeah, this is Grease Monkey's house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a Moomba sitting there, but I thought it was an actual Moomba.
So did I.
But it's a doll, because Grease Monkey, the man in the back of this place, will chime in and says that all that stuff there I got from this guy in Shumi Village.
They're both artisans, so they have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
There's an issue of Timber Maniacs in
got
the corner.
It from Norg.
Right? He gave me this. The guy also, I mean, maybe if multiple people here we'll find have been to Shumi Village, so it's entirely possible the guy in the dock has also been there.
That's making sense now why he knows who Norg is, because Norg's like, peace out, I'm going to go live in the basement of this mercenary boat. That's not a boat. Anyway, I found another issue of Timber Maniacs in here, by the way.
Uh-huh. The guy says this isn't an everyday repair shop. What do you want me to repair? Your head, your personality? I'll give you a great deal. And then on the back, there's some kind of poster with a logo in the back of it, along with a desk and a news guide chair. I think he shoots his own right-wing YouTube series here, Chris.
Actually, no. I looked up the emblem there. It's the FH emblem.
For Him magazine?
Yes, of course. It is two dolphins 69ing, like Ouroboros style. Yeah, like in a circle. Like one dolphin. They're not really 69ing, Eric, by the way.
Of course not, right.
They're 420ing, by the way. That's the sex number, right?
Right, 666.
They're forming a circle. Two dolphins are forming a circle, and there's like an emblem in the middle of that.
Have they fished out all the dolphins in the area? Because I haven't seen a dolphin yet.
I haven't either, but I'm assuming they're dolphins. But that is the FH emblem.
Okay, well, what does he do back here? Does he host a show?
I tried to decode the banner back there, and I got "Is Serveman porridge?" But
some Charlie Kelly literature here.
Yeah, but I think you're right. Yeah, Grease Monkey's hard to read here, so it's hard to say.
It's like, why is there a guy named Grease Monkey that's got Shumi technology?
Everybody's familiar face, Grease Monkey. They have all got their little things. Oh, I played him.
You played him in cards?
Yeah.
How'd that go, Chris?
He wanted to play with Balamb rules, which whatever I have in
Great,
Balamb.
spread whatever. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
Nothing matters.
Who gives a fuck? So now that I'm playing for keeps, I'm not always playing with my best cards, just to kind of get a feel for the character. That way, if I lose a card, it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did win, though, nonetheless. I didn't play any of my character cards or any of my high-level cards. I played, I won. Nothing of note here, though.
I think the reason why I'm not playing every single person is I've had the all rule on so often that I've got like 6 of every common card now. Mm-hmm. So I only play the ones that have the good shit.
Yes.
I'm like a professional.
Yes. So now we've explored the entire Fisherman's horizon.
Except for the center area where we're supposed to go.
Yes, except for the mission-critical location of the mayor's house. But on the way back to the front, I stopped to play some more cards. I'm still playing for keeps here. No more bullshit.
Oh, God, Chris. What'd you lose?
I went to go face Familiar Face once again because I wanted to take more of his cards because I know he has pretty good cards.
Yeah.
He has the Trauma card. I inflicted trauma on Familiar Face and took his Trauma card.
Trauma's a big, burly, like single-legged gold bruiser.
Yeah, I think it's a boss later in the game,
Yeah.
maybe. Also, by doing this, I spread the plus rule throughout the region. Eric, what's the plus rule?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, me neither.
Fake net.
Initializing fake net.
It's similar to the same rule. When one card is placed touching two others and the ranks touching the cards plus the opposing rank equal the same sum, then both cards are captured. Combo rule applies.
I've looked it up several times, and I keep forgetting.
Have you been using your Guardian Forces too much?
Yes, I have. My GFs.
Your fed head?
Yes. Thanks, Eric. You want to consult the real net real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Initializing real net.
Hello. Shy Guy 32 says, I think Spirit in FF8 is magic defense. I think we already asked the fake net that, though.
Yep.
Yeah, fake net, do you agree?
Initializing fake net.
Not answering this. You tosses.
Shy Guy 32 says, one could say that Leviathan increases the spirit within. Good job.
That's nice. That's a good...
Yeah.
That's good. Like, I feel like I have to outwardly sigh whenever someone makes any kind of pun nowadays.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it, but that's the reaction you have to give.
Yes, I agree with you. Quistacular said, did Selfie use animated GIF cursors? Because, like, her
animated GIFs did exist then.
Yeah.
Like, I remember using them in my proto web pages, but no.
Quistacular says, Selfie is wishing Cypher good luck, just like when Kistis cheekily wished him good luck when he said, I don't need luck. And Kistis said, in that case, good luck.
Yeah.
Remember that in the beginning of the game? Like, man, she was so hard in the beginning of the game. And...
she's been defeated. She's now evolved into the broken woman's archetype.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Quistacular asked questions that I think we tried to answer, but we can't. But these are good to repeat. When did a sorceress transfer her powers to a before or after she and Sid were married? Did Sid just know she was going to become a sorceress, or had she already? Well, Sid said he knew from a young age.
I'm definitely going to believe it.
We've heard of sorceress.
Yeah, but we don't know there's officially a transfer of power to Edea, right?
Oh, I was saying that speculatively.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, believe whatever you got to believe. If that's the thing, then I didn't even know.
But I certainly didn't intuit that the first time I played this game.
Shy Guy 32 says making Zell read a book is a tall order. Ephemeral Eternity says books about hot dogs. Kello also says books about hot dogs.
I would love to read an illustrated photograph book about hot dogs, of all different kinds of dogs, different kinds of buns, different kind of
the hot dogs
toppings.
Perfect works.
Yeah, the hot dogs perfect works. Yeah. Give me like a fold-out poster of a Chicago dog, the centerfold.
I bet that exists.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think a one-off exists. I'm not entirely sure if there's a monthly for that. I like a lot of mustard on my dog. Whole lot of mustard.
Do you like, what are your feelings on relish?
It's okay. I don't really understand why you would need that. You know, it's like, this is fine, but it doesn't really make or break the dog.
I love relish. I fear nothing. The Shy Guy 32 says, Squall waking up face up has big Shinji with unfamiliar ceiling vibes. TC Paget says, where does Sid rank in the Sid tier list?
That's a good question.
It's a good question. I think he's like a mid-tier Sid right now.
Mid-Sid?
Mid-Sid.
Mid-Sid.
Maybe upper mid. Because I kind of like...
He's so weird. Like, who needs an old man, a 40-year-old man, old as shit?
Jeez, man.
Sid.
I'm going to be old as Sid soon.
When this podcast finishes airing, you'll be older than Sid.
He's just got a lot of layers to him, is what I like.
Yeah, he's
and by layers, I don't mean sweater vests.
I think he's honestly, at this point, more well-developed than Selfie or Irvine.
Yeah.
As far as mystery, intrigue, secrets they're keeping behind. He's a good character. I mean, especially good for the time period.
Oh, okay. So I think the fake net already answered this. We can discuss it a little bit further. The answer to your problems with the Squall not being able to draw.
Yeah.
Every character can only hold 32 unique spells.
Oh.
4 pages of 8 spells. Or I'm sorry, 8 pages of 4 spells.
So I should just ditch all these 100 fires I spent 20 minutes drawing earlier?
Yes.
Son of a fuck, man.
Or transfer them to somebody else.
Oh. I'm crushed.
By the way, there's some discussion in the real net. Cal L brought this up, and Dent Deed said, wait, Final Fantasy XIV has Triple Triad, which Final Fantasy XIV has Triple Triad.
I thought the game has everything, has literally everything with Final Fantasy. It's just been injected with very fine needles into the framework of that game.
Which I had heard people discuss Triple Triad, if, like playing with their Final Fantasy XIV friends and stuff like that, but I thought they were using some sort of...
like a hack or something?
Yeah.
When you say Triple Triad, do you mean with its own monsters and spells, or is it literally the Final Fantasy VIII deck?
No idea. We'll probably find out when we get to the bottom of the chat.
It would be hilarious if it was the Final Fantasy VIII deck.
I don't know if this is true or not, Shy Guy 32 says Final Fantasy V's Sid has a grandson named Mid, which I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds amazing. Actually, no, it's true because people are like, yeah. Didn't he also reminds me of there was a Final Fantasy sequel anime that came out in the 90s called
Final Fantasy original?
Final Fantasy. Yeah, it was an OVA. It was a direct video anime that was like a few episodes. It was kind of bad, but it was probably better than The Spirits Within.
You've seen it?
I watched it on VHS in the day. I'm actually currently reliving many of those moments because I'm watching some of the same Gundam stuff that I used to watch.
On VHS?
No, on Blu-ray. Oh, Dente says that Spirits Within is better than the FF5 thing. Who knows?
Low bar.
Yeah, low bar. Okay, thanks, RealNet, for chiming in. We'll see you next time. This episode has been a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on August 8th, 2021. Thank you, Mark, for the intro music.
You're welcome, Chris.
Find us on Twitter at Retro Amnesia Pod, and if you like us, tell a friend. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, voting rights for our next podcast, and access to the RealNet on Discord. Thank you, patrons, for your continued support of this podcast. You are good. Email the show at podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com, and until next time.
Yes, we will kill God and replace it with a gunblade.
And now, you may go back to sleep. Yeah, look at that shit. Can you see that? Legend of the Crystals.
Balamb and Garden's orders? You were fooled.
He said Gabaldia.
Gabaldia,
Balamb and Galbadia.
Galbadia.
Balamb and Galbadia.
Eric, make a sound.
Were you there yesterday when we turned on Tekken 4?
No, I got there when Tekken 4 was already there. I was actually going to ask you that during the intro thing.
Josh had, this is a separate.
Okay.
Josh, I handed him, Mark had plugged his arcade stick in, and Josh had the PS2 controller, and it wasn't working. And I'm like, dude, those are wired. You have to plug it in. He's like, you don't have the wireless PS2 control? I thought they came with wireless. And I'm like, oh, your brain. Like, he was in disbelief that PS2 did not have wireless controllers out of the box.
Wow.
He couldn't handle that shit.
Yeah, it's impressive just like the amount of time that has passed. Like, the passage of time is impressive in and of itself.
19 years. Well, this kid, the shopkeeper,
And if you I see some familiar face, or not some, no, I don't see familiar faces. Get it? I don't see familiar faces. Familiar face 1, familiar face 2, familiar face 3. I don't see any.
Feeling kind of funny. I'm feeling kind of sad. Dreams
familiar.
of
The
dying.
fucking guys from Fisherman's Horizon.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. I see some non-familiar faces in the chat here, so we do record 2 in a row. So stick around. If
Never do 3.
Yeah, never do 3 unless you take a break and eat some chicken. Anyway,
I feel like I feel like I'm having a harder time with this one than fucking Norg.